the other angle about the reshuffle in the BNI, because as the daily, the Graphic Online reports, there are sources within the security system says that this has happened because of the president's visit, President Mohammed's visit to Kokoa in custody and photographs being taken. The protocol, if you have gone to BNI or any of those offices, is that you leave all your gadgets at the front office and then you go in without anything. How come this happened? That thing is what has led to it.
Well, it's speculative, largely speculative.
What a coincidence.
Yes, I agree. Coincidental and speculative. See, but were you going to ask a former president to leave his phones at the reception? I'm not too sure that will be done. But it will be an exception. They will allow him to go in with his phone. He then has to know how to use his phone. But that's there. Now, as for this story about the reassignment, first of all, even the former president going there, who said before he got there, the system wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how the system works.
That's true.
The Minister of Interior and all that. I know some, I don't want to tell a story about a former national security boss and a sitting, a former BNI director who was then an IGP. Seeking access to BNI headquarters, and what happened before he got there and what happened when he got there. This is some of the industrial secrets, or if you like, state secrets that we may have to keep for a while.
Yeah.
You know? But honestly, the story, when I read them, My Joy Online, it's your story. And I read a lot of speculation. Look, there's even a linkage that last year, the SAD BNI director signed a statement accusing the then Deputy Agriculture Minister nominee as a drug suspect. And this is dragged in. That was not exactly a statement. It was a report they gave to the committee, which is they were asked. They do profiling of appointees or nominees. And so it was not exactly a statement. And it's last year. Eventually turned out, in fact, the minority leader raised it on the floor. But it turned out that it was wrong, what do you call it?
It's a case of mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity, you know, and yet it's been brought in. You know, we are building a forest of issues in order to make the story credible. As far as I know, some changes have happened at national security in the last 3-4 weeks, and it's ongoing. That I know.
So it's a mere coincidence, you mean?
I believe so.
Interesting. There are those who have issues that Mr. William Kwesi Appiah, he's been reassigned to the Ministry of National Security without any portfolio, unlike the one who is taking over from him. You know, he's coming from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and he's been asked, what's the name again? Rashid Seidu, Director General of Research Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Rashid Seidu Inusa. He is the one who has been appointed to replace Mr. Appiah. And then the Deputy Director General of the Research Department of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, Mr. Peter Nyako Opata, has been also appointed to take over from Inusa Seidu. Meanwhile, Mr. Appiah, he's just going to the ministry, no designation.
You see, I don't know why this has come up. And it's just like the way we have spent more than 1 hour discussing Kuku. I mean, Rex Tillerson was on his way back to, Nigeria on an official assignment when he was recalled back to America. He didn't get to report to the White House. He was fired by a tweet. I mean, what is it? And the former national, the head of national security in America was fired by tweet. I mean, the president decides that he can't work with you. That's all. I mean, it's just like a landlord. If a landlord says you don't live in his house, he might prefer to live with cockroaches in his house. That's his problem. I mean, he's fired him. It's constructive dismissal. I mean, we are entitled to speculate, but what for? He's been sacked. He's head of BNI. He's going to national security as what? What is he going for? Is it a demotion or something? You see, he's been fired. And even look at the... He's been fired constructively. You see,
fired constructively.
Look at all the circumstances. It's a fire. I mean, just look, advise yourself. Probably put in your resignation so that you can be entitled to your benefits.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that
maybe explain in a minute
and
in some seconds what you mean by constructively, because the legal term and not everybody will understand.
Constructively is that when you look at all the circumstances, putting all the circumstances together, he will have no role within the national security.
Oh.
And to all intents and purposes, he's been asked to go home.
Okay.
Look, take it from, and let me ask you, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is it an extension of the Minister of National Security?
These are security persons within...
No.
The research department of Ministry
is-
of Foreign Affairs is part of our external intelligence.
It's external intelligence, but it's part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
our external intelligence.
But it's part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The Security and Intelligence
Roles
Act.
and
The Security and
responsibilities.
Intelligence Act recognizes the Research Bureau as part of our intelligence.
I know, they are part
Am
of
I
the...
right?
Yes,
Well,
yes,
we don't
yes.
even, I don't want to come there.
And even Article 83 of the
I don't
Constitution,
want-
the National Security Council architecture.
That's
Yes,
right.
You
part
have
of-
the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Fantastic. That's a better way of putting it.
So I thought that the movement of the person from the Ministry, probably that's what has been done, from Minister of Foreign Affairs to BNI, National Security, must have been on secondment from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to National Security and for posting. You see, because his roles and responsibilities must be clearly respected. It's part of the rule of law that the President spoke about. But he's been moved. He says, now here the head of National Security, Apata, who was his deputy, has been moved and somehow confirmed. It means that Rashid Seydou Inusa will not come back. There will be no position for Seydou to come back to, or Rashid to come back to. So Rashid is on his way to the BNI. But to be honest with you, I just wish him good luck in his new assignment and new endeavor. Because this one, it's just, the coincidence is too much for anybody not to speculate.
I see.
What can we do?
I see.
Right.
Right.
So it's
Interesting.
speculation.
Interesting. There, we will need to terminate this part of the discussion here, and then take a break and return to look at the other issues. I'm sorry, but we need to terminate this discussion here, this topic here, and come back to look at the fallout from the Ghana-US military pact, and also the Kappa project that has been extended by 10 more years. We will be right back.